Hello, everybody. Kim Meredith-Hampton here with Hampton Real Estate Advisors. And I have had a lot of questions with regard to the buyer-broker agreement that we sent out. And almost all of you should have received that by now via email and asked to sign that. But I wanted to go maybe a little more in depth about questions that people had said, why, and why do we have to do this? And what does it do? And I just wanted to go maybe a little more in depth about it. And if you are a buyer working with a professional realtor, that this means somebody that's ethically, honestly, they're trained through National Association of Realtors, NAR, and now because of the Department of Justice agreement that was signed in a settlement, we now must have buyer-broker agreements signed before showing any properties or videotaping it for you or sharing comps with you. I mean, all those things of working with you, for lack of a better term. We're as of August 17th, 2024. And the buyer agreement is between ourselves and our buyer that we are representing, and it spells out how long of a term we will work together, what will the buyer be paying us for our efforts, and all of those things that are our obligations on our part. And it's like, but why do I have to sign one now? I never signed one before. And some of you have signed one before, but now unfortunately, we don't even get a choice anymore, neither yourselves nor us. That is a part of the agreement with the Department of Justice that we must have that in place. And it basically is a transparency, like what are we going to do? What are you going to do? Who's obligated? All of those types of things, just as if we have a contract with a seller. That's exactly what they do. The agreements are not new. They've been around. Many of you have already signed them before. They're all updated now, and spells out even more. So it's not convoluted, it's transparent, and it gets everybody on the same page. Some people have asked, are these agreements negotiable? Absolutely. Everything in life is negotiable. Everything in real estate, which we do on your behalf, is always negotiable. The fees, the time frame, what areas, as in you could work, say, with maybe one of our team agents in, I'm just going to use, for instance, Pinellas and Hillsborough County, and then maybe you have a different agent, buyer broker over in Orlando that works with you. So you can specify and work with your agent on what that may be. Some of our buyers, we're doing the whole state for them. It just depends. Some we're doing, Orange, Osceola, Lake, Polk, Pinellas, Hillsborough, whatever it may be. So obviously these are always negotiable between you and our team. And obviously we are representing you. We are your agent. We're making sure that we get your best interest. And obviously, I've shared before that sometimes when we look at things, I'll give you, for instance, just in the last day or two, I always source properties, and I looked up things that have a single family with an ADU. And then I look them up, and actually it's just a single family. It is not actually a legal unit. And these are the things, they're putting that out there, but they are not legal. And that is our job to do that. Obviously, our team goes through these, they source them, they run these numbers, and then we make sure that what is out there is real, and what these numbers maybe that they've put are really what they are, or the taxes, or whatever the case may be, or the sales comps, rent comps, short-term rental comp, whatever it may be. And that's really the gist of our job, to do that. And then obviously we are a little bit different. We only work with investors, and we have all the contractors to do the work that are licensed and insured that we can share with our investors, that work with us and sign our buyer broker agreement. And then the one thing I think that's really important is that the buyer now is signing that they'll be responsible for paying our commission. But having said that, there are still sellers out there that are willing to pay the buyer broker agent as they have traditionally done in the past. So it doesn't always mean that you have to pay. And basically all the contracts that we've written lately, actually the seller is paying that. They've been offering some sort of compensation. So actually the buyer themselves are not. And again, always negotiable. And we can negotiate that on your behalf. So sometimes don't think that just because it's in writing, because if the seller offers that, then we cannot collect from you. We can only collect from the one party. Unless we have the listing and the buyer, then yes, we can collect too. But if we are your buyer's agent, you have agreed to pay us X amount and the seller is going to pay us 2%, maybe say you said 3% you would pay, we can only collect to 2% from the seller. So I just wanted to clarify that because I think that's a big bone of contention that maybe a lot of people don't even understand. And again, this is all fluid and who knows, it may change next month. We don't know that. But I just wanted to share some of these things with you so that you understood of where we were coming from and what those are. If you could please sign your agreements. If you want to talk to myself or you want to talk to any of the members of our team, please feel free to do so. We're always here for you. We do want to be able to help you. We do want to be able to videotape for you, get comps for you, meet with contractors, all those things that we've always done for years, but we can't do that without a buyer broker agreement. So please feel free to reach out, 407-448-6679. My email is Kim@Hampton, A-N-D, Hampton, Kim@HamptonandHampton.com. Always here to answer all your questions. And please get those filled out and we'd be happy to keep working with you and sharing all of our knowledge and our resources and all those things. So have a great weekend and like to see, oh, you can see my dog in the background. That's Rudolph. All right, thanks. Have a great weekend.